Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wood. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You did. You're right. But you can give a report here, it's just that you're doing what to, relating that question and then.
No, I'm here.
You can go ahead, and anything y'all want to work on for a few minutes, and then we'll try to get a.
Here they are. Okay, all right, that's okay.
But y'all, I think you can give them a report if you want to.
Should we do that now? Should we do that
He
during?
can give you a work session where you can educate yourself on what's going on. But still, you're going to have to vote on some of it in the regular meeting. That's why we're trying to give you an education on what's going on now.
Oh, all right.
But you won't vote. You never vote in a work session. You
Yeah,
can't.
I knew that. I just didn't go ahead. Okay.
I will be presenting you pay estimate and drawdown request during the regular meeting for Herzog. And we have a tentative change order we're going to process, Jeff, that's going to save about $5,000 some odd dollars on the contract. So knowing we had that money coming and the contingency funds we had to begin the project, we went through the items that you have in district tear down. I kind of briefed you on that last month of the items might have an extra approval to send them to road development. I did send in and requested that we be able to purchase 2 valves to put in the lines over the sludge basins that are actually inoperable right now. And I felt the cost that Herzog had given us was too high for what the cost of the valves actually are. And the control panel of the lift station has deteriorated since the time the design was done. So that needs to be replaced to make the operation ready. The last item is on the lights for the security lighting around the site. And there's 4 lights down there actually should do it. And according to what Clyde has said, Carl said, they never worked right since we were in this plant back in the 80s. But we'd like to see what it's going to take, even through fixtures, valves, bulbs, whatever, get it fixed so you do have that security lighting in there. We sent the request off to rural development. They at first said we could use any loan money we have, that had no problem. And, well, we don't have any more money left, it's all a grant. So after a few correspondences, Kevin Heapvine sent that on up to the state engineer in Columbia, and he agreed that these were board maintenance and operational, and they were needed for the operation of the plant, and gave their approval for us to go out and get quotes on this. So I will be asking you in the regular session also to give me approval to make up quote sheets to send out to different suppliers to be able to get these 3 items done and made a part of this project. And everything we spend will still be out of this total loan and the funds that we have with RD. There'll be nothing extra out of here, but out of your project cost.
Does the control panel, the 2 valves, and the light?
And the light.
We remember them lights, don't we?
Actually, we find some different.
My fixtures can come off and we can use the same amount of poles to put on metal halide up there. They'll probably take care of everything.
I think we'll let the strong light on in at the pole, it's up there than what we've had all these years.
One time it's after the day,
Oh, man.
people go in and work on them, they last 3 months out of here.
So, Mr. Ray, then you'll be getting, putting a bank on hold. Go out, but you get close.
Yes, I will put the specifications together on what we want done on each of those and ask you guys then to provide that into the paper, and I'll give you a list of contractor stuff we'll send it to and ask them to give us quotes on that material, which we'll bring back to you, open and reseal bid process, and then you guys approve for the selection of materials.
that be ready on next meeting or anticipated?
At least the valves, I won't ready for next meeting. We're gonna do a little research on the lights and see exactly what the extent is running the specifications. But the valves, we need to get put in as soon as possible so we can make it operational and used in the basins that have now been completed and ready to go.
So do you think the lights, the whole thing needs to be, or you don't know?
I believe they do. From what I hear of the history of them, I think it's just bad wiring and bad lights. We probably just need to run new wiring out there. If you run a shallow depth of 12 to 18 inches, we did put in and put all in one series so they all come on by photo cell and have them operate. And the poles seem to be solid, seem to have good mounting concrete at the bottom, so I think it's just the fixture that goes on top of the door.
So photo that's solar lighting, right?
No, the photo cell just does when it's dark enough for the light to come on.
Okay.
It just, the contact point lets electricity go through.
Okay, so it's solar.
That way you don't run them all day long enough to do that for the machine.
Sorry, I didn't know what that was.
No problem.
Who do I approach if I have a question here? You apply or you? Okay, in such context. When I was reviewing the meeting last month, there was some, Mandy and I had asked for some education on what you all were talking about, digging up on Cemetery Road, having to do with the water. And in this month, we did not get any, I didn't get any information on it to know exactly what they were talking about. Do you remember when we were talking about anything?
It's on the agenda. Water coordination project.
Coordination project.
I will be giving a report in the regular meeting.
Okay, so, okay, because it said that it was something that the board and the mayor had to work on it, but I haven't heard anything that will come more about it, so. I wasn't sure what exactly you were talking about because it was before we came on.
Yeah, it's one of the DNR requirements that we've got to provide service to those homes on Cemetery Road.
Oh, for the home service, okay.
We are working on it, and I will give an outline, but nothing's going to come together right now that I can give you every detail because I don't know which way things are going to go. But one way or the other, it's going to be resolved very shortly. But there are a couple of things that we're trying to do, and there's no need of throwing them out there because we don't know which way they're going to go. I mean, it's not like you can figure, but if you start putting things out there and then the wrong people get the wrong thing. But we are working on it. We met with Charlie today, we talked to different people, and we're trying to get everything together. And I would say by next month meeting, we'll either be involved, we'll have a meeting to okay everything, and it might be in process. But I don't know that for a fact. But it looks like it could come together. Yeah, sure.
Not reading this right here from DNR. It's stating here that we need upgrade on the deal meter.
Yes, we do.
That's certified,
They say that we should have a certified thermometer, but it's not necessary. Certified thermometer costs about $200 some, and I don't think we actually need that. They recommend that we do so that when we take our Celsius temperature, when we implement that it's more accurate. But it's,
but pH meter.
we have a pH meter that works, but she said that we should have one that does the temperature too, at the same time, to back up our thermometer when we do the pH. So
We used to have it with that years ago.
that's been long gone.
Yeah.
I mean, one we have has a type that you replace the tip on, it, and all that, but it's cheap. The city can't afford it, But that DO meter that we have, the problem with is that probe keeps going. We can't get calibrated like it should be. We tried. We just replaced that probe not too long ago. Okay, but the probe keeps messing up, and they don't last. Last 6 months to a year, and then it's no good. You have to have it buy a new probe. The probe costs $300-400 a piece. So they had a recommendation for a DO meter, and I got the specifications on it, but I wasn't ready to talk about getting the DO meter and everything yet until we figure out what's going on.
Clyde, if I might interject something to that. I asked Dennis today if he knew what the lab is going to charge us to do these E. coli tests that have to be done probably on a monthly basis after this UV goes in. He's going to check on that cost. These are items also that are eligible underneath our loan. If there's money left after we do these other 3 repairs, that we possibly get the test kit for that, we can get this equipment at the same time and bring them back up to standard to and testing.
I know, the DO meter, actually, everything listed it, you should have.
We do have.
Well, that's a good order.
Uh,
That's not being good working order, that means you have to get the better one.
Well, the DO meter is a more priority one that we should have, but
I know, all I'm saying, we need good, we need.
Well, if we can afford it, then we find out cost versus driving that, because we only got a 6-hour life when
Whole
they take
time
that
on
test. So we gotta take them to Jackson, or we get a machine where we run that test ourselves.
right.
The cost every month of getting that test, and getting it to Jackson, you gotta do it in a 6-hour period. And we ain't got a vehicle that gets more than 10 miles per gallon, probably. Versus buying this and the life of it, and we gotta weigh it out and see which way we're doing.
Right.
And the equipment we got is outdated, like it's new, it's outdated.
I think what I'm trying to say is, we need this equipment.
Right, we
gotta
do.
find a way to get it.
That's right. I
I
agree with
don't know
that.
how we'll be able to have to find a way.
Charlie. I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
It's just for the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
You have funds in the sewer to buy a DOB meter.
Rather than the project. Get the sewer fund itself.
In a sewer fund, yeah.
But if there's money in the project, we'll use it,
Yeah.
if it's gonna be left. But we gotta be able to know which way is the best way to go. And that's what we're finding a way to get that money.
So either way, we got the money to get it done.
Well, we don't know, I don't know what that costs. Do you have an idea what that one costs?
With the test kit for,
The E. coli,
E. coli.
it'll probably run around $2,000 for each of the test kits. You have to get sleeves that come with it, so you
Right.
can meter
But
count.
it solved the problem with these other things that we got, you know.
No, you still have to have those also.
still have to have the DO meter and the pH meter.
Each test kit is $2,000?
No, just one.
Just
The
one.
pH and the DO is probably $300 to $600.
Right. And then you got your, you just replenish the test materials, that's all. The meter itself.
So we're actually replacing them out. They're just like a no typewriter, no computer, or anything else, it's so outdated and not accurate.
Right.
Yeah, we got to
Do that.
Yeah, but them that'll do that, but how much longer gonna be before we know what we got left? Now,
I think we're pretty well there.
we should know
With
pretty
the-
soon what we
With
can
the
do.
exception of these 3 items that I mentioned to the board that I want to get the specifications and quotes on, I think we're totally complete with Herzog where we know where we are.
Has anybody been down to look at the project lately? I have to tell you today, that's the first time I've seen that building down there. I haven't been down there, but God, I wouldn't know what I was doing if I was down there, so I stay out of the way. But, it looked good. I mean, a lot of dress up to do yet with the building and work and everything. And actually, the area around it looked pretty good shape. They were pretty conscientious workers, look like to me. Most people just leave their scraps and stuff laying around till they get done, and you know, it looks decent to me.
Looks like he's already happy with it. Well,
Yeah, from what I read that report there, they are. But within a month, we should be able to know which way we're gonna go on one, or within a few weeks, and we gotta start checking the deal on getting them other two, irregardless of where the money comes from.
I've got the information, all I need to do is get permission from the board to spend the money, that's all.
But we're gonna wait to see if we got.
Well, we're gonna wait to see now if we get from the project to the.
If we bid out that one test bit, which will make sure for quotes to the laboratory supply, then we wedge that these other ones at the time and get the quotes in.
Alright, that's fine.
We would, if we had to get bids on all three of them different pieces out. we're gonna get
Yes.
bids on all
Yeah,
three.
if we're
Well,
going
If
yeah,
we're gonna use the project.
We can go ahead and get them bids,
no,
we write them.
I've got to ask them on those, so I haven't asked that yet. I would like to know what the test's gonna cost you for the E. coli, so we make sure it's gonna be sensible to buy this equipment and have you guys do your test.
But does it cost anything to get bids on that, so we know what the cost is gonna be for the equipment too?
No, but you're gonna have to go and send out at least 3 different people to get them. And then they're gonna have to have a time out to have them available, or they'll hold the car.
Anything else?
We will know a lot more next month.
I have a question about the ordinance that we're working on, but it's section 2, is that clear? Just the wording on it to understand a little better. No one but an authorized employee or person authorized by the city shall turn this meter on or off. Now, I know we're not voting on, we're voting on section 6, but I saw that and I thought, who else would be an authorized person besides the city employees, the water company, to turn somebody's
There
water?
could be the contractors or people, authorized, Clyde, he's experienced, he's an alderman. I turn water on and off whenever it's necessary, because, during the weekend or something, there's a leak and nobody's available, I turn it off, Clyde has been done. But I've been with it for many, many years, I'm positive. But see, the house owners and things, not, they're out there messing with it. Because they're using it for a shut-off valve instead of installing a shut-off valve. That's
I
what
guess that's what
makes
section
it
2
protect the
is.
company.
Yeah, shutting off for the purpose of that meter to be shut off, okay. And the doesn't change as far as the deposits, they still have to pay deposit just like you do for your regular deposit.
On this meter, it's linked to it. And you deposit on this
Well,
meter.
the deposit is section 4,
That's on the regular house meter, there's no deposit on this here yard meter.
Yes.
Did it go in?
Yes, in case it needs tested.
Yeah.
In case it needs tested.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, I just wanted to be sure that.
I don't know,
It's
but
deposit.
none of that has changed. The only thing that changed is section 6.
Right. yeah.
All
But
that
This is the
there is
first
still
time I've
there.
seen this, and I'm just looking at this, I mean, you know, it had it,
But that would still be the same next month or whatever, and we
Okay.
educate ourselves on, and this is a good time to have, you know.
it should, and in section 5, be the responsibility of the landowner to notify the city when to turn the meter on and also to turn the meter off. Is that after it's, it looks like it's after shut off, if they've been shut off, then they pay their bill, they get it turned on, they're supposed to let somebody know, the
The
landowner.
landowner don't, that's just, I mean,
The landlord doesn't have anything to do with that. Excuse me if you don't mind, I'm talking.
I don't know.
Okay. What that is, if they want it on for 6 months, they have to leave it on for at least 6 months. Then they can notify the city that they want it shut off, and it won't cost them anything to have it shut off. If they want it shut off before the 6 months is up, then there will be a charge for the one to shut the water off.
And turn it back on.
And turn it back on, okay? But if they leave it on and leave it on year round, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But if they should happen to want it shut off, it has to be on it for a minimum of 6 months, and then there's no charge for shutting it off.
Well, that, I see that in section 6, I was looking at section 5, it wasn't, I didn't understand how the way it's written, it's responsible for the landowner to notify the city when to turn the meter on and also turn the meter off. It's having to do with the shut off and non-payment of bill and reconnecting. And that was confusing. I mean, just in case it would come up, this one was asked.
I just, I had mine turned on just, last week.
Do you leave yours on all year round? It doesn't.
I will
it's not-
now.
It's not affected
I will
by
now.
cold temperature or anything?
I will with this. I'll leave it on year round, I'll never turn it on.
So it won't be
But I
affected
wouldn't
by,
on the other one.
it wouldn't by freezing, and it's not affected by the
No,
sun.
it's frosty. I'd be responsible for that.
The frost free.
It's below the frost line, but anything, what's coming out
It's
is,
just a yard spot. A yard.
okay.
I'll never turn mine off again. So anytime I need outside water, I mean, I just think of what I use. So I pay for $20-some for the first hour. That would eat it up. You guys got anything else? You wanna take a 5-6 minute break, or you gonna do a regular session? What do you got? Anybody got anything? You got about 15, this is the official sign off. 8 minutes.
We got 7:05.
All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderman Smith,
Here.
Alderman Knott,
Here.
Alderman Franklin,
Here.
Alderman Fisher,
Here.
Okay, approval of the agenda, June number 2.
Make a motion for approval of the agenda.
With the exceptions of the closed session.
With the exception of closed session, that's not here. And then you're gonna have appointments.
And the mayor's gonna make some change and modify the appointments. And I forgot to have it on the agenda. It'll be down here at the bottom somewhere. Okay. You definitely get it? Yeah, I gotta make sure it's clear out and that's what it is. Move the agenda, to approve the agenda with the removal of the elated closed session and add in appointments for the aldermen. They're different departments. All in favor? Huh? Oh, we gotta have a motion.
I second it.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, public forum, looks like Laura Vader.
yes.
Just have to give the name and address and.
Gloria Bader, Post Office Box 155, St. Mary, Missouri, 63673.
Physical address.
236,
What?
236 Walnut.
236 Walnut, Dish I would like to have a license open on Sundays to serve food, stuff like that. A Sunday license is what I have.
Of course, I just can't say I didn't know it was coming. I do. All I'm gonna do is have the aldermen to do their job this month, check it out, and next month they'll vote on it.
I have to wait a month?
Yeah.
That don't sound too fair.
Should I have last month then, if you didn't want to take them?
Well,
We
I
had,
was
they had
doing
to
it
do,
last month.
we had to do our homework. We had to check everything.
What kind of homework probably do you have to do?
So yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you. We're going, the board alderman's gonna get it next month. They're gonna vote on it. And that's what it's gonna be, unless they wanna change it. They have a right to overrule what I'm telling you. Now, if they wanna overrule it, they can vote right now. But I think this is something that needs to be weighed out and checked out. And they need to talk to people that live in here. The people that live in this town, the residents that live around here. It should be talked about. And then they make an educated thing on what they wanna do or not do.
What does the board do this?
You ain't been-
everything?
You ain't been open all these years. One more month couldn't make that much
I wasn't
difference.
serving food, I wasn't serving now either.
You don't have to
I
sell,
made food.
you don't even have to sell food be open Sunday no more anyhow. You
I
can
know
do
that.
either way.
That doesn't take effect till August.
Huh?
That doesn't take effect till August.
But still, they won't have to, you know.
Well, the board think I need to wait a month? It's a, like
I
ours.
personally do not think so.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I have talked to people, and I know people come in and out there, and I know people all over town. I've heard about 3 of them against it.
Well, I can tell you one against it too.
I don't want against it. But the majority that I've talked to, and I know the young people, all want to talk to people.
I'm gonna put it this way. I'm saying it's not coming up on this agenda this month. I'm against it. I think it should be worked on. I think people should find out what all the constituents think. And now, if y'all want to override that, you have the power to. But I, as mayor, say it should lay over a month. I've got people here on this board always preach and complain because we don't lay things over for a month, especially things of importance. Now, here I'm going to hold one over for a month, and I'm getting hit. Now, do your voting. If somebody wants to make a motion, you want to vote tonight, make it. Get your second and get your ayes.
I make a motion
Otherwise-
that we vote tonight.
All right, you got a second?
Yes, sir.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
You got it. Now you make your vote tonight. All right, all in favor of going in and staying open on Sunday? Roll call.
Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Knott. Aye. Alderman Franklin,
Nay.
Alderman Kassoon.
Aye.
You got it?
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
I will.
Next on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda.
I second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh. Let me see. That's the email that we don't get them in.
I don't know, I didn't get that.
Opposed, was there an opposed?
Yes.
Okay.
Boy, that sounds familiar.
Huh?
That didn't sound familiar. I know those days we had. Okay. New business, yeah, new business.
Okay,
Charlie Ray?
Yes, in front of you, I think Joanne gave you a drawdown request RD on the sewer project. It lists payment to Herzog in the amount of $71,167.50, and payment to Missouri Engineering for inspection and construction administration in the amount of $7,582.27, for a total of $78,749.77. With your approval, that can be sent to rural development. They'll make the drawdown, deposit in the bank, then Dottie Joanne can write the checks and make payments on them.
Anybody make a motion? Approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the drawdown.
I second.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Anything else, Charlie?
Yes, as I had mentioned earlier, I do have a draft change order that I don't want to approve along, but I want you to know for sure that the amount of project costs from Herzog that we started off with $346,000 has got a potential $5,925 deduct on it right now. And we will process that and bring it down to you next month, subject to any other changes or things that might go on as he's finishing up the rest of his work with the electric components. They got to do the generator, the automatic transfer switch, and get the rotors in and put them on with the new gear drives and stuff. That's all they have left to complete, besides some minor cleanup. With that money being available, I'd like to have your approval for me to be able to come down and do some inspection at the site on the lights, the control panel, and on the valves, and set up specification sheets to send out to the suppliers of each one of those separate components. Bring back to you as soon as possible with seal bids for you to approve, that we can order those and get RD approval to purchase those items and make part of the treatment. Well, I'll have to have you guys make a motion that you approve for me to do that so I can tackle it and send it in.
Okay, I make a motion to approve for you to go down there and
Do
inspect.
those inspections.
That's that.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That's all I have, sir.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
So, I don't know if you want to bring up the water thing. Okay. All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
The funds needed for the sewer system. That's what he just give out the, that's one from that, the water flowing project fund. I pretty well gave it to you in the work session, there's a few people here that we're working on it. There really ain't nothing I can report to probably next month. Because, there's so many things moving right now. But it looks like it should start very shortly. I don't know, anybody got any questions, I'll try to answer them, but, it's in the works. There'll be a couple more meetings I gotta have with some people and the funding and everything, but everything's falling in place.
Do we have the funding for that?
Almost. Almost.
Do you think we're gonna get the funding for
Well, I think yes.
it? Okay.
Anything else? Okay. Ordinance 892.
Bill number 892, ordinance.
Oh, we gotta add a motion
I'm
for the
sorry,
meeting.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to the first reading of bill number 892.
I second it.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 892, ordinance number 892, and ordinance amending yard water meter ordinance 879, section 6, designating when this ordinance shall take effect.
Motion for a second reading?
Make a motion for second reading of bill number 892.
Got a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, bill number 892, ordinance number 892, an ordinance amending yard water meter ordinance 879, section 6, designating when this ordinance shall take effect.
Motion to adopt?
Make a motion to adopt bill number 892.
Second?
I second it.
Roll call?
Alderman Smith. Alderman Knott. Alderman Franklin.
Aye.
Alderman Cassup.
Aye.
Okay, departmental report, fire department.
There we had 5 calls this, like I said, we had structure fire, car line down sparkling, 2 medic calls, and then he also had a vehicle accident today. There's one other thing I want to ask you, we got a pipe pole that we need to replace on our fire truck. It actually ruined in a fire last year. We put it on the grant, we didn't get it on the grant, but it's a 12-foot pipe pole that goes on the side of the truck there. We need to replace it, and we got 2 3/4 inch, 100 feet of that span we need to replace. And I believe we'll probably have it in our budget, I don't know, it probably, I'm taking a guess, the guy never did get back with me on the quote, but it's gonna probably be $500 anyway. And that's all I got.
Please,
No report there.
Art,
I don't have anything to report.
water, North Street,
I don't have anything at this time.
water and sewer.
Okay, I, had an inspection May 23rd of the sewer treatment plant. And, I believe you guys have the results of that inspection in front of you. Had a water side done yesterday, June the 12th. And it seemed to went real well with no major discrepancies. But I can't, that's my opinion after talking to the inspector. That's not the official report. So you should be getting that sometime this month on the water side. We've had several grinders that we've had to look at, Turning Cliff, apartments, a couple of times, Antique Mall, and I believe that's all on the service calls. I had a couple more that I can't remember, but I have talked to the fire chief, and I've tentatively scheduled July the 12th for the flushing, and at that time, we are going to flush all the hydrants to get the ISO numbers for ISO. We got a pit top gauge, and I've got the pressure thing, so we can do it by with no problem in getting the ISO numbers for the flow on all the hydrants. So I did that tentatively, because I don't know if Joe can have that day off. It depends on if he gets that day off or not. But that's what I've tentatively scheduled for. If it changes, I will notify everybody on the board and let them know. And that's it.
I have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Get direct on me right now.
Direct me, all of them? Okay.
Some of it's my job, because I'm over the department, some of it's his. I'll figure out
Okay.
when it comes
All
out.
right. You weren't here, but during the work session, Mr. Bovee asked us if he could have permission from the board for us to let him flush these hydrants. And it was during a work session. It was very confusing because there was a lot of talking going on, and it was kind of maybe one of the first ones that she and I had been at, and I know I was a little confused, and so I'm thinking, since this involves an outlay of money to do this flushing, correct? That's what we were told.
But also as part of the license, part of the requirements by DNR, so he has the right, for his license, he has to make the decision. He's only got a certain time from this period to that period. He has the right to do it. If he don't, he'd be a violation, which makes us a city in violation. So it's something that has to be done. It's mandated by DNR, so I know this.
So this isn't something that needs to be, it's
It has
okay
to
to
be.
approve it, it's okay to approve it in a work session for the board to go on ahead and approve it.
Well, he can report it, but he's telling you what he's going to do. He's not really asked permission, it has to be done.
Okay. And granted, I understand that. I'm just asking about the protocol, because it gets a little confusing of what we can talk about in a work session and
You
what.
can know about anything in the work session,
But, okay. But,
you
okay,
can't vote on it.
all right.
You can talk about anything in a work session, if the board. Now, they can stop you if the majority of the board said, we don't want to work on this, or we want to move on, or we want to stop.
And so does it need to be authorized by the board then? I mean, I'm not saying that we're going to say no, but it does not have to be brought on the
It's
put on the
mandated
agenda
by
and
law.
authorized.
No, we can't tell him, no, you can't do this, because we will be in violation,
No.
and he will be in violation, we'll be in trouble.
But protocol-wise, does he need to bring it to the board on the agenda and present it?
Not necessary. I'm not obviously why to make him do that. I mean, come and tell us when he's gonna do it. You know,
Okay.
and we have to.
We're going to move on then.
Well, have you started flushing? Have you flushed it one hydrant?
We did one to clean out the chloroform, that was it. That was the flush hydrant.
Did we have a coliform? Did we have a coliform present?
The false, They did, false reading, yes, because it's like the one we took the next day, came off good. So,
Because the only one that shows is the 6-4 one.
it was a special, it was something I was checking out for myself personally.
I wanted to ask about that special too. There's so many of them on that website, and special. There's more special on there than there are community homes. What does special mean?
I got a question. For somebody who didn't want to be over this part, you sure got a lot of questions.
I do, don't I? I really
Yes, I
do. Well, you know,
You want me to put you over this department, then you can be in the right, because
I can still ask questions and not be over the department.
Well, to a degree, yes, but ask me.
Well, you're not.
But I'm over the department, right now I'm over the department, right now I'm over it.
All right, I'll ask you. And then
And I'm-
Dennis is doing the work, but I'm asking, so I'll ask you, and you have to, go
I don't
through.
have to answer.
And you don't have to.
I can say, I don't know, or I'll get back with you, or I'll check it out.
Well, it doesn't seem very transparent either, does it?
Well,
So
I
the
really
people
don't
out
care what
there-
the parents think, but that's the way the rules are. I think we need to move on.
I think we do. It's already done.
Well, what about the UV unit that he said was available? Has it been?
The what?
The UV unit. He said.
They're
last-
in, but they're not ready to
Charlie
go,
told
they're
you
working on
that we're
it.
waiting.
Dennis, don't answer till I say anything.
I'm sorry.
I know it's hard to remember you're not an alderman.
Well, it's hard because
He's
you
done
tell
wrong.
him he can talk about it because.
When I say you can, you can. Now, we're not getting no words back.
This is my last question. He said that the UV unit was in, has it been installed, or what, is there something holding it up?
The whole project goes online at one time.
Okay,
The UV equipment is in, but all the wiring and all the other connections and all the things is not. It's in the ground, the whole project will go on at one time, not one here, one there. It's a major project. Have you walked down there and looked at that?
no, I have not been down there.
But then if you want to educate yourself, get with me and I'll go down there with you and I'll walk you through that.
But you don't know anything about it. you
Oh,
said.
I know a lot about it.
Okay.
I've been over that sewer system that was built. I came when we done my hole in the ground. I came before they was a hole in the ground.
He don't care about what I was there.
Pardon me?
He's very familiar with it. When I was there, he was very open to that.
Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he does, so I'm not sure what's the truth here. Okay, thank you.
You got anything else to report then?
No, I'm before it was done, I'm sorry.
I gotta find my name. Okay, animal control, emergency management. I really got nothing to report. We went through this flood here and a lot of people got shook up and wanted sandbags and sand and things. But the one that was wanted and then lived or needed, the 3 people that was living there, I requested from all of them, none of them wanted it. I had them, when I noticed I could have had all the things, we got sandbags and people wanted. But people think because you don't run around and put on a show for them and run up and act like you're worried about something that you know ain't gonna happen, I don't do that. I knew where the water level was gonna be, they gave it to us every day, I knew what that level would do. The only one that even had it, I guess, in their basement, to my knowledge, was Adams there on the corner, and I went and talked to them. They didn't want anything. You can't send back out of, seep water out of the basement, done that. That happens in the first place, you gotta let it flood, because you don't, if you pump it out there, it'll collapse. So everything was normal, but I had been in touch and knew where to stand, knew how long it takes to get it. We had the sandbag, but nobody wanted sandbag. The bank was the one that they might consider if we come back and got deep enough. And I told them, if you decide you want sandbag, I can get you sandbag, get you sand, and I put out a call for volunteers. If they come, they come, if they don't, they don't. I can't make them come, but that's the only way you can sandbag, you get volunteers. Usually when you get on the radio and ask for them, you get them. But I was doing my job as emergency management, but because I do it and running up and down the street every day, it might not look like it, but I can handle all that on the phone. I'm gonna take about a 5-minute recess right now before I go into appointments. So Board through, just take a break for 5 minutes, I'll be right back. We got a break or two.
Can you burn 1 5? I don't think I could, man.
Get over there.
Yeah, we can get over there. We have to have 1 Well, I don't know, we might have to.
Okay, we'll come back to order.
One that for 2 minutes, I'll get a half cigarette.
Well, I had to investigate.
When you say 5 minutes, we expect 5 minutes.
I'll make the meeting 3 minutes shorter, that'll be it.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, now, on the appointment, as we all know, and according to the law, according to I and Redwood, I gave Mrs. Smith sewer and water, and she refused to take it. She didn't want to be overemployed and things, for whatever reason, didn't feel she should be a supervisor, several reasons. They're all legal, that's her right. So I can't move her because she never accepted it, so she's going to, animal control. She won't be over anybody then, she won't have to deal with any employees, so she'll be over that. Clyde, I'm gonna move you, and according to them, you have right to refuse to sewer and water.
Not accepted.
Brenda, you're gonna say the same. Amanda, you're going to go to, let me see, what we got open here now. Oh, you're going to fire department and police department,
I accept that.
and I'll take streets. Now, I know you think this is a penalty, but it's not. Anytime that you want to work with the employees and anything, and you feel that you know you can and will do, you come to me and we'll still rearrange everything again. But right now, I got you, you don't have to work with no supervisor over nobody or nothing. But if you feel that once you find all the ropes and you feel you're comfortable with working with the employees and things, and get back with me, we'll see if we can't work in the one that can rotate these together.
Well, you need to put this on the agenda. We can't vote on this without it being.
It was put on the agenda.
You stuck it on there.
The
but that's
agenda,
illegal.
it was legal, I'm not arguing with you. We want to, I know, because I know from your conversations, you know who to get hold of.
And
to do
the
that.
fellas who I've
And
talked
don't do it. So we amended the agenda for me to make them appointments, and we did. It is legal, do your thing, but that's what happened. I have a right, I took one off the agenda too. I'm not going into closed session, that's legal too, because I took it off. I can put one on, or I can take one off. Now, you
Oh,
want...
sir, I am not accepting animal, I'm not accepting that.
That's your prerogative. You can stay here for 2 years and do nothing. That's your prerogative.
I did not, I told you before, I will do whatever to help this town to grow and develop, but
You're not indicating it to
Pardon
me. You're not indicating it to me. You're not willing to take jobs. You want to do what you want to do, not like everybody else. You want to be separate from all the other aldermen. I've asked them to take different jobs. I've asked them to rotate them. They do. They do their job. You want to do what you want to do, you don't want to accept the position to be responsible for a department and be a liaison between that and the board. That's all an alderman is a liaison between right now, Dennis is the supervisor. If Clyde wants something done, he goes to Dennis. If Amanda wants something done, she goes to Dennis. If it don't get done, then she comes to the board and complains because she asked them to do it and it's not getting done. And then she gets the board to take action.
on April 18th, you said it is on video that you were taking the water sewer department.
I did say that. I did.
But because
I took it because you wouldn't do it.
City, a fourth class city, that is your position, as well as emergency.
I'm
management.
over everything if you want to get technical about it. There's not an alderman here except you. You won't call me about nothing. That don't come to me about their department problems. There's not an alderman here that I haven't talked to at least 3 times this month about different problems. They come to me, they talk to me. I talk to them. If I see a problem in their district, I talk to them. That's part of being on a board. I can't meet with 2 aldermen at one time. I can meet with one all day. I can meet with the next one all day, or 1 hour. I cannot meet with 2 aldermen and discuss city business. Now, I can sit down somewhere and have dinner or something with 2 aldermen, but we can't discuss city business. Because that gives me a forum. 2 aldermen and me is a forum.
I understand.
When they come to a vote.
I understand that. I've been here long enough.
So, well, then, I don't know what you don't understand on what I'm doing, but the point is, if you can prove me wrong, all you gotta do is get the Attorney General to send me a letter to say I'm wrong. Now, if he does, I have to correct it. All I have to do is put it on the agenda next month and do it again. The only difference is I had it put on the agenda because I forgot to get with Diane again. I got other things going on. As you say, we had high water this time. I got a business to run. I was flooded. I went sitting high and dry. I had a lot of things on my mind this week. I got a dear friend in the hospital.
We
There's a
all
lot of
have
things
things
going
on
on.
our minds, and you're saying that you get with these other aldermen, but then not with me.
But-
What did I need to get with you?
Whenever you went and jumped on the mark because he was writing tickets, you should have called me. You knew I'd go to the police department.
I talked to him. I didn't jump. I don't know what he told you.
You didn't have no business to getting on to him about giving tickets.
No, I wasn't getting on him. I was asking him what he was doing because of some of the things that I was
Why
doing.
did you come to me? I go to that department.
Because he's the police officer.
I'm over him. I'm his boss. I'm over him.
Well, now Mandy is, correct?
Hmm?
Now Mandy is.
Yeah,
So I need to go to her if I have a question.
yeah.
So, all right.
If you got a problem with water, if you got a problem with Dennis, that don't mean you can't talk to Dennis. But you can't go chew him out because of something.
I do not do that.
I'm not arguing on, well, our argument is you're saying this is illegal, take your,
I'm saying
whatever
I'm
you
not
got to pay
accepting
for
it.
and move with it. Citizen participation. Anybody got anything to say? Nobody got anything to say?
Julie?
Vote to adjourn,
Make a
Brad.
motion to adjourn.
I second it.
On me, on, favor side,
Aye.
vote.
Hi, thank you for watching Channel 798.
Thank you for watching Channel 7 and 98.
Hi, thank you very much for watching Channel 798.